Welcome to The Rare Way, a podcast dedicated to exploring human behavior, social dynamics, and cultural contradictions through a scientific and global lens. Here, we examine the world not through opinions, but through evidence, bringing together research, real-world events, and critical thinking. If you're looking for depth in a world of oversimplification, you're in the right place. My name is Alexandre Pacheco, and I created this podcast to explore what it means to live consciously, critically, and compassionately, even when the world feels increasingly divided. I've spent over 20 years helping people and teams grow into better versions of themselves, across industries, cultures, and belief systems. I've lived in different parts of the world. I've worked with both corporate and grassroots communities, and in that journey, I've learned that staying human in the middle of noise, speed, and division is not just rare, it's urgent. This podcast is not about telling you what to think. It's about creating space to think better, together. We live in an era defined by division. Across politics, culture, religion, and identity, people are increasingly driven into ideological extremes. A 2023 report from the International Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance found that democratic erosion and polarization have intensified in over 70 countries. From algorithms that reward outrage to news feeds that reinforce our existing beliefs, our environment is built to divide us. A 2022 Pew Research Center study showed that 65% of Americans find it stressful to talk politics with those who disagree. In Canada, a 2023 Abacus data poll found that 54% of people believe public discourse has become too toxic. But polarization isn't just a political issue. It's cognitive, psychological, human. Psychologists call it confirmation bias, the tendency to seek and interpret information that supports our existing beliefs. This shortcut, while evolutionarily efficient, reinforces divisions. We also experience in-group favoritism and out-group homogeneity bias, believing our side is diverse and morally correct, and the others are all the same. Neuroscience shows that when challenged, the brain responds as if it's under attack. The amygdala activates, triggering defensiveness rather than curiosity. This isn't just theory. In 2024, Nature Human Behavior published a global study analyzing 3.2 million social media posts from 15 countries. It found that emotionally charged, moralistic content, regardless of ideology, was 68% more likely to be shared, fueling echo chambers. Let's look around the world. In Brazil, the 2022 to 2023 political atmosphere was shaped by ideological clashes and widespread disinformation about vaccines and elections. In the US, the Capitol insurrection showed how far polarization can go. A 2023 report from PRRI found over 60% of Americans believed political violence could be justified in some cases. In India, polarization takes shape through religious nationalism. In France, through debates on immigration and secularism. In Canada, the political center is influenced increasingly by imported U.S. narratives. The pattern is global and accelerating. But why does this matter? Because polarization costs. OECD studies show that highly polarized countries experience lower trust in institutions, declining economic performance, higher risk of unrest and democratic backsliding. Even mental health suffers. A 2023 World Health Organization report noted a rise in anxiety, especially among youth, linked to constant conflict and cultural war fatigue. When we divide people into tribes, we weaken society's capacity to face real challenges, like climate change, inequality, and public health. So, what does it mean to be rare in this environment? It means rejecting certainty that feels good in favor of complexity that feels honest. It means choosing intellectual humility over superiority. It means saying, I might be wrong. It also means practicing epistemic curiosity, a hunger to understand what others believe and why. Research from the Greater Good Science Center at UC Berkeley shows that structured dialogue and perspective-taking reduce polarization significantly. Just being exposed to well-framed opposing views in a safe context softens extremism. To be rare might mean following media outside your ideological bubble, asking more than reacting, seeking common ground, not to compromise, but to connect. As Yuval Noah Harari once said, clarity is power. But clarity doesn't mean certainty. It means awareness. So next time you're tempted to dismiss someone for thinking differently, pause. Not because they're right, but because contempt only feeds the cycle. As the Dalai Lama reminds us, in the practice of tolerance, one's enemy is the best teacher. In future episodes of The Rare Way, we'll continue unpacking human behavior, global culture, and the invisible forces shaping our beliefs and reactions. Next episode, why certainty feels safer than truth and what it costs us. Until then, stay aware, stay open, stay rare.